here. Welcome to the Arena of Judgment, where we put in a little show for you, try and answer one or two questions perhaps, but mostly have some fun with the units in Dawn of War 2 Elite mod. In front of you is a Grey Knight Strike Squad, heavy infantry, build as both strong in melee and ranged combat, but how strong in fact are they in melee combat? We will find out by pitting them against a bunch of melee squads and seeing how they do. Please bear in mind that melee fights in Dawn of War 2 are incredibly unpredictable at the best of times with special attacks and just the order in which things engage each other, making a huge difference in the outcome. We will try and get as balanced fights as we can, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so first up for the Strike Squad are some Howling Banshees, the bane of heavy armor in tier 1 especially. These are default Banshees with just 625 hit points without their aspect, up against default Strike Squad in tier 1, simulating a kind of first engagement encounter. Just let Max go, who's helping me out, to go, and we'll see what happens. Should be close. Strike Squad with vastly more health, Banshees with of course the power melee weapons. As you can see, he's using some ranged attacks and then coming into melee, and here we go. Banshee's losing a lot of health early on. One model goes down. There's a nice special, and this should trounce the Banshees now. Special's making a huge difference, and Strike Squad win the fight with 231 hit points remaining. Alrighty guys, another tier 1 fight, this time Howling Banshees in tier 1 with their aspect, which takes them up to 812 hit points. We will see how it goes. Strike Squad don't have any upgrades in tier 1 that will help them out in melee. They can get some ranged weapons of course. Just let Max know that we're ready to go, and we'll see how the Banshees do this time. Strike Squad beat them before, but it's very much reliant on special attacks and tiny little factors in these tier 1 fights we find. Now they are all engaged. Specials on both sides. Nobody's lost a model yet, but looks like Banshees are going to take this. They are 4 versus 2. Another special though from the Banshees, and look at the knockback strength on that special. Banshees kind of leap into it, and the Banshees win the fight, even though the brother captain was getting shots in from the base. So they have it. Banshees take it with their aspect, but again very close and dependent on specials. Alrighty guys, here is the tier 2 fight with aspect and X-up Banshees. Gone for the aspect of fleetness, obviously, given her those dual power swords. The Strike Squad will have Justicar and Nemesis Focus. No abilities will be used though. Let's tell Max that we're ready to go. Abilities just throw in too many variables to make these in any way useful. They should be taken into account when you're planning for your fights, of course. Here we go. Justicar in there has the Nemesis Force sword instead of a halberd. One Banshee goes down. The Strike Squad are kicking some serious arse here. That Nemesis Focus really does help them out. Have 1790 hit points or something with it, and they level up at the end of the fight and didn't lose a model. Banshee's got trounced there. Alrighty, now we move on to the Orcs. Some tier 1 sluggers versus tier 1 Strike Squad without any upgrades, mirroring a first engagement encounter. Let's just let Max know that we're ready to go. Sluggers should get trounced here, but bear in mind that they are almost half the cost of a Strike Squad, just 270 rec versus 500. We'll see how they do. Strike Squad moving in. Big specials knocking down the entire Slugger Boy squad. Some more specials, they're going to get absolutely owned here. As we expected really, Strike Squad do not lose a model, and down go the Sluggers handily. Strike Squad just over 800 hit points and almost got a level from that. Alrighty, this time the Sluggers will have their burners, increases their health a little bit, I think it's 15% or something, and gives them a couple of power melee weapons. They should get trounced again though. Don't see them coming through this with just a couple of burners, but let's have a look. Strike Squad should own them. Burners going off. Can they get a model this time? Down goes the Slugger immediately. And they do take down a Strat Squad model. And in fact, get them down to 1. Way closer than I thought. Can they take this guy down? This is one model versus each other. They're going to win, I think. There's a special. Could that win it for the Strat Squad? Max seems to think that the Sluggers win. And with 7 hit points remaining, the Sluggers take it. Wow. Very, very close and quite surprising, I think. Alrighty guys, now into tier 2 with a fully upgraded Slugger Boy squad with Knob Leader and Burners against a fully upgraded Strat squad with Justicar and Nemesis Focus. Let's let Max know we're good to go. And I think this is going to be a pretty close fight. I am imagining that the Sluggers are going to win this though, but I was wrong before. You see the Justicar with the Nemesis Force sword. I'm not sure actually if the Slugger Knob has a power weapon. I think he does. Strat Squad doing well though. They have so much health with their Nemesis Focus. Over 1700. It's very close though. 2 versus 2. The Knob Leader goes down. And now it's 1 versus 2 and the Sluggers take it. A close fight again. They had just under 100 hit points at the end. Alrighty, now it's the turn of the Tyranids. We have a Hormagaunt Brood just out of the HQ with no upgrades, simulating a first engagement encounter. Let's let Max know that we're ready. Strat Squad should take this handily. It is 8 versus 3 though. Hormagaunts without their basic synapse. So yeah, they should win this fight quite easily. The Strat Squad, big special there. And I don't think they're going to lose a model as you'd expect, I suppose. Can they do it without losing a model? Looks like they can, and down go the Hormagaunt Strat Squad, winning it with just under 700 hit points. Now the turn of tier 1 warriors. Now this should be close. It's 3 models versus 3 models, around about the same hit points, but the warriors have this passive jump, as you're going to see here, which is a guaranteed knockdown, and they also have power melee weapons, so the warrior brood should win this. Looks like they're starting quite well. There's a special attack by the Strat Squad member. Some more specials. Could the specials win this for them? Power weapons now getting in the attacks. Is very close. Whoever kills the first model might win it, and it's a warrior brood model that goes down first. Strat Squad very low on health, but still with 3 models. Now 1 goes down. It's 2 versus 2. Now it's 2 versus 1. Now it's 1 versus 1. So close. A special attack which could win it for the Strat Squad. No, it doesn't. The warrior brood gets the hit with 15 hit points remaining. Very, very close. Awesome now fight. It's the turn of Adrenal Gland Hormagaunts in tier 1. The default Hormagaunts got owned, so we'll see how these guys do. Gives them a health and a damage buff. So they should do at least get 1 model here. We'll see. Special attacks could again cause them a lot of problems from the Strat Squad. There's a couple of all 3 models did a special there. I don't think they are going to get a model. More specials. Those bolt pistols, those storm bolters I should say, also helping them out, getting shots in as they chase them down. And again they are trounce. Strat Squad standing up very well there with just under 500 hit points. Alrighty, now into tier 2. First up we have a 10 model Adrenal Gland Hormagaunt Brood, so they have Endless Swarm and Adrenal Glands, against a tier 2 Strat Squad with Justicar and Nemesis Focus. Strat Squad should take this, but you have to bear in mind of course that Hormagaunts rely heavily on synapse to do their thing. But they're in there with 10 models. Strat Squad with some specials all over, and I don't think they're gonna lose a model here. Nope, a decisive victory with well over 1,000 hit points still. Still in tier 2, we move on to Adrenal Gland Warriors with 1575 hit points and heavy melee damage. The Strat Squad in tier 2 should win this. They have more health and more models, but we will see. We do have that passive lead, knocking down the entire squad again. Good start by the Warriors. Now the Strat Squad is starting to come back. Another special by the Warriors, and another. Going to be closer than I thought, I think. If the Strat Squad can take a model before losing one, they should go on to easily win it. And there is the loss. And Strat Squad should now handily take this, perhaps without a model loss themselves. Yep, there's another loss. Can these guys get in to help this model before he goes down? Would they even need to? And they win it without a model loss with just under 950 hit points. Now it's the turn of Gene Stealers. We'll see how they do. Also, of course, heavily rely on Synapse, but they are a powerful power melee squad with a reasonable amount of health without melee Synapse. So let's see how they do. We'll not be using the Adrenal Rush, which will, I think, easily help them win. We'll see how they do without it. They have 80 melee skill, of course, so they should be getting the specials on this strat squad. And look at this, they're doing very well. They're going to win this fight. In fact, only lost one model. That is how awesome Gene Stealers are. A very, very dedicated melee squad. I suppose it's not that surprising that they take this fight with just under 400 hit points. Now onto the Imperial Guard. We're going to see how Tier 1 strat squad fare against Catachans. We have gone for the Demolition Man on the Catachan squad since they are usually purchased immediately. The Demolition Man is. And they should take this with all of those power melee attacks. They should take it. Here we go. Catachans do not have a special attack though, but look at the damage they're doing. They do have a couple of models with those big ass knives and auto pistols, and they quite handily take down the strat squad as a very strong melee counter. Wow. Didn't lose a model, lost very little health as well, as expected, I suppose. Alrighty, into tier 2 now. We have a fully upgraded Catachan squad with a Sarge. Gives them a melter gun against a fully upgraded strat squad with Justicar and the Nemesis Focus. Should be a lot closer, but I still think Catachans will win this. We'll see. Just all those power melee attacks going in. There's some specials though. Strat squad holding their own, but can they kill models in time? There goes one Catachan. In fact, I think strat squad are going to take this. That guy going a bit weird, but he's got into melee again. Another special again. The lack of specials really hurting Catachans when they get into tier 2 against melee squads, and a strat squad take it without losing a model under 500 hit points though. It was a close one. Alrighty, now some Ogrins with their Bonehead leader. They should take this fight against the strat squad in tier 2, but we'll see. Not going to use your red to knock them all down. They are a heavy melee squad with a chunky amount of hit points. 4 against 4. There's a couple of specials from the Ogrins. They have a very good special, in fact. It's very quick animation and decent knockback strength in front of them. Strat squad getting owned as we expected. Some specials of their own. 2 models down, and the Ogrins are going to take this without a loss. And they level up, of course. Ogrins taking it with just over 1050 hit points left. Now it's the turn of Chaos. We have some Chaos Heretics here with Aspiring Champion. Without the Aspiring Champion, they just get owned. We'll see how this goes. I think the Heretics are going to take it against the tier 1 strat squad. We'll see. Not going to be using Doom Blast though, which of course makes a huge difference in this engagement. So that should be kept in mind. All of the attacks going in. Aspiring Champion Heretics takes them up to 970 hit points thereabouts. Strat squad getting big specials. Haven't lost a model yet. Down goes one model though, and now they're outnumbering that strat squad, and they should take down this model quite easily with that Aspiring Champion there, and down he goes. Heretics with Aspiring Champion, such a dangerous squad in tier 1. Now we're going to pit them against tier 1 Chaos Space Marines with Eternal War in melee combat. We'll see how this goes. Switch them to the melee stance. Should be reasonably close, but the strat squad have the big melee skill advantage, and there are the specials coming in, which should cause them to win this engagement quite handily. TSM are very good in melee combat, but they can't deal with a strat squad, and as expected the strat squad take this even with Eternal War up on the CSM. Didn't lose a model in fact, and finished the fight with just under 450 hit points. Alrighty, now it's the turn of the Raptor squad with some decent DPS and a fair chunk of health. We'll see how this goes. It's going to be close, I think. Special attacks again might win it for the strat squad. Going Gonna be close. Very, very close start. Looks like the Raptors are winning. Nice special there from the Raptors and a nice special from the Strike Squad, but they have lost the model and the Raptors should go on to win this. Another special from the Raptors. But look at that special from the Strike Squad model. Knocked down all 3 Raptors there. These last 2 guys just won't die. There we go. Raptors still have 3 models. Very, very lucky to do so. And 147 hit points left. But that was a close fight. 3 models but very low health. Now into tier 2. It's the turn of the Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines fully upgraded with Eternal War and Aspiring Champion. Against a tier 2 Strike Squad with Justicar and Nemesis Focus. The Mark of Khorne CSM get chain axes, which are power melee weapons, plasma pistols and melter pistols, so they should take this. Also gives them a health and speed boost, of course, taking them up to 70 melee skill. Also there's a special. Down goes a CSM though. They took down the Aspiring Champion in fact. Some more specials from the Strike Squad. Their specials are so good. But now it's 3 versus 1 and the Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines take them down, but they put up a good fight, that Strike Squad. Now we continue with tier 2. We are an Aspiring Champion Raptor squad, which gives them a power melee lightning claw against the tier 2 Strike Squad. No abilities used, of course, no energy burst and no jump, which would make difference in the engages, of course. Always keep in mind. Big specials from the Raptors, but a big special from this lone Strike Squad model, and it's going to be close. Strike Squad are doing well though. They have so much health with that Nemesis Focus, over 1700, and I think the Raptors are done for here. Even with that power melee lightning claw, Strike Squad win it with 3 models remaining. It looks like just over 600 hit points as well. Now for some Bloodletters with their beastly power melee damage up against that tier 2 Strike Squad. Have that passive teleport, there it is. Special, and they should beat the Strike Squad quite handily. Bloodletters are very powerful melee squad. More specials going around, and are they going to lose a model here? Looks like no. Oh, they did lose a model, but are taken down, the Bloodletters, with almost 700 hit points remaining. Now it's the time for some of their battle brothers. We have Space Marines up against them. First up, Tactical Marines in tier 1 versus a tier 1 Strike Squad. Strike Squad should take this with their slightly increased health and their superior melee skill. No Kraken bolts used, which would make this fight even more interesting, but no abilities used in these fights. But always keep it in mind when judging these things, abilities make a huge difference. These melee fights are unpredictable enough as they are, even without abilities being used. And the Strike Squad should win this without a model loss. No, they do lose a model, but they do take down the Tactical Marines and they level at the end of it. Now it's the time for the Assault Marines with a big chunk of health. We'll see how they do. Gonna be close, I think. 1200 hit points for the Assault Marines, 1095 for the Strike Squad, and it looks like the Assault Marines are going to take this. Some good specials here. Haven't lost a model yet, the Strike Squad. Now they do, and the Assault Marines should go on to handily take this. Are they going to take a model though, the Strike Squad? Did really quite well, I think, the tier 1 Strike Squad against a squad that costs 50 power. Assault Marines win it with just under 500 hit points, and they hit level 2 of course. Now we have a Tactical Marine squad with their Sergeant, who does have a bolt pistol and chainsword and is pretty handy in melee combat. But a tier 2 Strike Squad with Justicar and Nemesis Focus should take them down quite handily. No Kraken bolts used, of course, which would make a decent difference in this fight. It does affect melee combat, but as you can see, the Strike Squad going ballistic here. Take down the Sergeant already, And that is all over. They are going to trounce the Tactical Marines as we expected. Not going to lose a model. Nemesis Focus Strat Squad do not mess around, and down go the Tactical Marines. Now against some tier 2 Assault Marines with their Sergeant, who gives them a Power Sword. Also gives them Merciless Strike, of course, which helps them an incredible amount in melee fights and would probably swing this for them if they don't already win it. So that is something to keep into consideration. Down goes an Assault Marine immediately. Strat Squad doing very well here. With that big health boost and damage boost from Nemesis Focus, they're going to take down his Assault Marine squad, I think. They do lose a model, but now it's 3 versus 2, and they're going to lose this. It was the Justicar that went down. And the Sergeant remains. Can he get one more? This Strat Squad unable to attack in melee, but it does go down, and the Strat Squad win it quite handily. Got to level 3 at the end of that.